I'm going crazy, sitting on that train, and I don't think I'm ever coming home. Don't think I'm lazy, don't think I'm strange, I do think I'm really just losing it all. 'Cause I'm going crazy, yes, I'm going crazy.
Hello, everybody, and a happy Friday night to you. I have nothing to cheers with just yet. I'm going to open up my, it's a Smirnoff tonight. It's not even the White Claw. It's Smirnoff. It's zero sugars. And it's the watermelon. JP was, well, that's on my good news list. JP and his watermelon non-beer. So I was doing the beer for a while. I was putting on the too much weight. So cheers to you. The Smirnoff actually makes a good one. How was your week, everybody? I am loaded up with alcohol. I went to the store to buy what I needed for Boozin with Bill, but I ended up getting so much more, like the Old Smoky, Moonshine. What else did I get? I guess that's all I got. Oh, I got my watermelon spiked sparkling seltzers. All right, let's get to it. We got a great show. A lot of people on the show today. Ryan Higgins is going to be joining us in just a bit from the Cape Cod Brew Bus right there. My favorite hat. Wear it all the time. Haven't been on the Brew Bus yet, but I know a lot about it. We're going to find out more with Ryan. And we got my buddy AJ from Portland. We're going to do our greetings from segment from Portland, Maine. I love Portland. And Erik Davis from Fandango.com. He's a managing editor over there. So we will talk to Erik about movies. Cheers, Barb. All right, let's get to the good news and then get to Boozin with Bill. And get our drink made tonight. Get our drinks on, as the kids are saying. Are they still saying that? I think they might still be saying that. Okay, I have pictures to go with a lot of these. So this is from my friend Erin Lynch from the Metro West Visitors Bureau. She sent this to me. This is a friend of hers from New York State. And let's see if I can find this. Yeah, here it is. 10-year-old Derek Hebert Jr. wanted to give back to his community, so he decided to make face mask holders with his special printer. Must be one of those 3D printers. He donated 100 to the Ark Jefferson St. Lawrence, 50 to the Salvation Army, and 150 to the Messina Rehabilitation and Nursing Center. That is awesome. Nice job, Derek. Great news. Check out these puppies. Oh, aren't they so cute? They almost died. They were hit by a car, both of them, and left on the side of the road to die. So my friend Karen Tupper sent me this story, and the name of the family is the Kell family. They had no idea, and one of Karen's friends pulled over, saw the dogs, and one of them appeared to be dead. Phoenix, I don't know which one of the dogs, but one of them appeared to be dead. And then miraculously enough, she started breathing, and they followed each other back to the home. And the woman who found them went to the home, and they took them right to Tufts and took care of the dogs. But the bill was just way too much. So they did a fundraiser, and I just wanted to say kudos to the woman who pulled over and saved these dogs, brought them home. The fundraiser went well. They'll be able to cover most of the costs from the vets. That can be expensive. What else do I have on here for good news? How about, where's Corey's Crusaders? There it is. They're doing their virtual 5K walk and run. They usually do the live one, obviously, but with COVID-19, everything is virtual now. It's going to be May 29th, and they're giving away 2 $500 sponsorships. Students in grades 9 through 12 who register or walk or run will be entered to win. They select a boy and a girl to each win. You got to register by the 14th of June. Go to coryscrusaders.org and support them. They do amazing work in the area. I've worked with them before. They're fighting brain tumors. All right, what else do I got on here? Where is it? Maybe this one right here. Check out the little kid masks that this person made. I don't think I have a name, but my friend Karen sent me this story from the Milford Moms Group. This family made masks for kids, and they raised $90 for the food pantry in Milford and the Milford Area Special Olympics. Very nice. If you're on the Moms Group, you can go find that post and buy one of those if you would like. And I think that might be all for the photos, but some more good news. Craft Roots is donating $1 per squealer to the Milford Youth Center starting on June 5th. I have 4 squealers that I have to get filled. So that's $4. Boom, just like that, right to the Milford Youth Center. That's amazing. Nice work, Craft Roots. Thank you so much. And I think that's all I've got. Oh, Jasper Hill is reopening for takeout on the 4th, and they're going to have live music on the porch. Chris Fitz and Steve Deneen are going to be kicking off the season on the 4th. And also Galliford's in Mendon is starting live music. They're going to put a tent out there, get some social distancing going, and get live music back up and running. All right, really quick, here's some good news. The bonus round, the speed round. Justin is still murder-free. Congratulations, Justin. Dinner and Company is opening Monday for lunch and dinner takeout. Barry's awesome. The Moonlight Chef is open and ready to serve you. Thank you, Laura. Bill had key lime pie last night. Tim had his dog Argus fixed. Amy is just happy it's Friday. The other Amy is happy that Disney is opening in July. Mary is happy that we're all still here to watch the show. Thanks, Mary. Brian simply says, pants are overrated. COVID-19 proved that. It's true. I am wearing shorts. That's what I wear now. That's my life. Steve is excited about the Dropkicks playing Fenway. John Paul thinks that he is good news. Jeff is excited that it's Friday. Katie is happy that daycare is open in 32 days. Jim's kids have been home every single day since March 13th, and they are both still alive. Subject to change, he adds. Jen just learned that White Claws now come in mango and tangerine. Oh, that's right. And then JP asked about watermelon, and there's your watermelon. It's Smirnoff, JP. Jamie got a Brazilian. Congratulations, Jamie. The male, Jamie. Erik is excited about comedian Brian Kretcher doing drive-in shows this summer. I love him. It's the guy that takes his shirt off. You see him on Netflix. Very funny. Joe is starting band rehearsals again. Todd saved 15% on his car insurance by switching to Geico. Every week there's one of those. John is excited about raising $1,300 on Sunday with our Cooking for Kids. Did I get a picture in there of John? Yeah, there I did. There's John and myself. And John's cooking up a pizza, showing us how to cook. We had about 8 or 9 people. Barbie was a part of that. It was awesome. We raised about $1,300 for the free food program in Milford. Robin's neighbor got a police escorted gift bag from the Milford Youth Center a couple days ago. Milford Youth Center is doing awesome things. I didn't mean to put that back up. All right, that's it. Are you guys ready for our first segment? Let's do it. Boom. Yep. Bill, what's up, buddy?
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. Coming to you from outside.
Yeah, remember when it was really nice at school? You ask if you can go outside and do your class outside. That's what you're doing tonight. Love it.
That's what we're doing tonight, yeah. And tonight's drink is the classic margarita.
Classic margarita. I got all my fixins. I'm ready to go. All right, let's do it.
No need for a mix. That's where you make your first mistake. It's so easy.
Rookie
it's
mistake.
So easy. Start out with your mixer. Couple pieces of ice in there. And I recently tripped upon this. I wish we had something that was made it easier to juice lemons and limes. And Dee said, "Hey, go what you got." And I used it, and I love. You got one too. Excellent.
I love this tool.
It's awesome.
Also have a bunch of limes.
So first thing we're going to put in the juice of one lime. One lime.
One full lime.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Oh, my God. It's just something so satisfying.
I got to make sure you get it all, too.
Yeah, get it all, baby.
And it comes out as like a little hockey puck. I love it.
Yeah, and hold on to that, too, because we're going to need it.
We're going to garnish?
Yeah, well, what we're going to do is we're going to take that little lime, whatever it is now.
It's a workout, man.
It's like a hockey puck now.
Yeah.
And then you're just going to go ahead and rim your glass.
The rim job. Very important. Okay.
Margarita. Let's dive in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I rimmed the wrong glass. Hold on. I got to catch up. I rimmed my shaker glass for some reason. All right, I got it. I'm rimming the glass. Now, I have heard, Bill, that you're not supposed to like dunk this in water because the sugar won't I mean, the salt won't stick like it should.
Well, the classic margarita uses a lime, so there must be something in there to make it happen.
Well, that worked. See? Oh, I
Yeah.
don't want to get
Yeah.
that over on my
So
laptop.
next up, we have our main ingredient, which is a gallon of tequila.
You put a gallon of tequila in there? Holy sugar. All right. I got my little bottle of tequila.
Yeah, very good. So we're going to go with between 2 and 3 ounces. Really, this is more like a mangarita. So I'm using this shot glass because I am not a professional.
I'm a
So
pro,
that's
baby.
Nah,
I used to
that's good.
bartend.
Yeah, I did not. I was at a dive bar, so I opened beer bottles. Orange liqueur.
Oh, I got the cheap
Several
stuff.
different types available on the market.
Yeah.
You got triple sec. I got the Grand Gala.
$99, $9.99.
There's also Cointreau is probably the most popular.
Yeah,
Well,
that
you're
was
probably-
top shelf. That was upper shelf. It was like $30. No.
That's the big time one. So this one's about a half ounce. Right about, maybe it's a little more, but like I said, it's a mangarita. It's all right.
Okay. That's orange flavor, right? That's
And
an
then-
orange flavor liqueur.
Yes, an orange liqueur. And then I have a little agave syrup. You can use simple syrup, but this happened to be on the shelf next
I
to
have a sugar-free simple syrup.
Yum.
I am making
So-
a skinny margarita.
So this one, just a little squirt. Get a little bit in there.
Okay. Mine was a little poor.
Top that off. Take your rocks glass. Fill with ice all the way to the top. Get it in there. Two meaty man hands in there.
I have small hands, Bill. Don't make fun of me.
Sorry. They're
Okay.
huge. All right, now shake it up, baby. Well,
John Tapper would want you to smile.
Yeah.
All right. All
here we
right.
go. For that. Woo! Perfection.
Oh yeah, right to the top. Look at that. I measured
yeah.
well. I freeballed that too.
And then your garnish, little lime wheel,
I got a wedge.
and eco-friendly straw.
That's right. My metal straws. I love my metal straws. That's it, buddy. Look
There
at
you go,
that.
buddy.
Look what we Jack.
looks great.
Jack, yeah. Bill, look what we did.
Nice.
Cheers, man.
Perfect. Give it a try.
Oh my god, that's good.
Damn.
It's got the tequila. You can definitely taste the tequila.
Yeah. I like a
Um,
little salt too.
yeah, well, yeah, you got to drink from there then. I don't normally salt my rims.
I do. I
Let me
like
ask
it.
you wait, let me ask you a question. When you're drinking, and it's been years since I've had this, what's the shipyard, the October, the pumpkin head? When you drink that, do you salt the rim with that spicy stuff?
Do you? Yeah. Yes. Those who love it want to have it. It's like a sugar cinnamon.
Yeah, it can be a little much though. And I ask you that because we're talking about beer, and this is something that we have to do. And I think we had talked about it, like the Pub Kings doing one of those tours of the Cape on the Cape Cod Brew Bus. But we
Yes,
have to
would
do
be a
that.
blast. That would be a blast. I love it.
And I think maybe we can talk our way into playing on the bus. I think that would be a fun stunt.
I
Are you
will
ready?
do anything at this point.
Are you ready to play out again? Missing it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm ready to just rehearse.
I know.
I don't
we gotta
care.
get together. Hey, Bill, thank you. That was great. The classic margarita. Mine is a skinny margarita. So I used no sugar, simple syrup. I don't know how that's possible, like you said earlier. And tequila. I mean, the only thing that's really sweetened is the triple sec. But
Yeah.
you can get away without the triple sec. You could always garnish with some oranges or squeeze those in there. And
Absolutely.
that's about it. So this is a skinny margarita. I'm going to enjoy this for the rest of the show.
Yeah. Mine's big boy.
Take care, bud. Good to see you.
See ya.
Boozin with Bill, ladies and gentlemen. Take care, buddy. All right, let's go to our next guest. And you got to forgive me here. I'm still new to StreamYard, and I have all these photos to my right, your left. And I got to scroll around because I don't want to miss any. I took the time to put them together. So let me introduce you to the Cape Cod Brew Bus. Check out that thing, right? That rolls around Cape Cod, and it goes from from craft breweries to craft breweries, 5, 6 maybe. We're gonna find out in a second. This is Ryan right there, the owner. Him and his wife, his family owns that, and those are patrons of the bus, and they are technically bar hopping. Some other great things about Cape Cod Brew Bus is they have a store and they sell soap. They sell beer soap. They sell hats like the one I have on right now. And look at all the fun that these people are having. All right, let's go to our guest. We got Ryan Higgins from the Cape Cod Brew Bus. What's up, Ryan? How are you?
What's up, Ray? Cheers, my man.
I wish I had a beer. I mean, this seems like the perfect segment to be drinking a beer with you.
It is perfect, but I saw what just happened with Bill, and it's pretty hard to up that.
The margarita is great.
Margarita.
And I switched to craft beer maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years ago. For me, I was a strictly Coors Light guy, and I put on so much weight.
Well, you did just drink a Smirnoff. I was watching for the past 20 minutes.
This has 0 sugar in it, so this is what I had to turn to.
Okay.
And it was fine. Yeah, I lost the weight, and then I started drinking craft beer, and now instead of like 12 Coors Lights, I can have 2 or 3 craft beers. But they really do a number on you, right?
Some craft beers can be pretty high alcohol. I'm drinking a little Higgins Brew right here. This is a summer wheat beer, and it's not low. I'll tell you that much.
Now, where's Higgins?
7. Oh, that's me, Ryan Higgins. You just said my name a minute ago. Home brewer. You know that we're all brewers here at Cape Cod. So this is our own beer that we brew, that we make our beer soap out of. And of course, this was just kegged last week, man. This is the freshest beer you're gonna get on Cape.
I didn't know that you brewed your own beer. I wasn't aware of that. So how do you do that and do the brew bus at the same time? Because you and your wife are running the business right now, so you must be very busy.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone's busy, right? You do what you can with the time you got. But if you're asking me how to make beer, then I'm probably gonna have to one-up Bill and tell you that you take a bunch of barley, you steep it at 152, you boil it, put some hops in it, put it in a fermenter, make sure it ferments at 66 degrees for a week. Getting real convoluted here, but brewing beer really is as easy as making cookies, and you can do it. I started in my kitchen on like one of those electric range top stoves, doing little 5-gallon batches, and man, it's fun as heck. My father and I actually started probably 12 years ago. He's passed away since now, but it's something that's been close to me ever since him and I started brewing, and that's really how Cape Cod Brew Bus came to be. Is the passion for good beer and sharing good beer with good people. Is where it's at. And honestly, instead of opening up a brewery, there's plenty of good beers out there, plenty of good breweries. Figure what better way to be creative and also like encouraging, safe and responsible consumption of the beer here on Cape Cod. Bam, Cape Cod Brew Bus. So that's really how it came to be.
Well, you are a designated driver for people, and the price is worth it. How many breweries do you go to now?
So last year, was our first year. We were going to 3 breweries. It was about a 3.5-hour tour. It was a blast. We had a great time. Obviously in the brew bus right now, on the back, pictures of all the groups that came on. And I'm telling you, man, it's the most fun I've ever had. I hope it was the most fun they ever had. And we're looking forward to seeing our patrons again this year. Obviously, we're all dealing with a different economic climate now with social distancing and all. So we're redesigning our tours a little bit to be a bit more safe and responsible in the respect of we're not trying to have cross group exposures, you know what I mean? Yep. So last year we were doing a lot of public groups where someone from New York might be jumping on the bus with someone from Maine. This year we're going to focus a bit more on private groups. So essentially one entity rent the bus out, and probably do a smaller kind of brewery showcase type thing where we show up at the brewery, almost curbside pickup, like you get a variety pack, as well as some local eatery options here. Lambert's we were hitting up last year. Pain d'Avignon's another great Cape Cod spot they're going to be hitting. And that's kind of what we're going to focus on this year. We'll see how it all plays out.
Have you been able to go out at all? I know a lot of breweries are doing takeout and delivery. Have you been able to participate in any way?
As of now, no. The governor of Mass, has the 4-phase reopening system, and we land in phase 3. So as of right now, only phase 1 is what we're in. So no, to answer your question, we haven't been able to get out, but nonetheless, we've been brewing beer. We've been prepping as much as we can. I think many of us here at the Brew Bus are paramedics and firefighters here in Cape Cod. So we've had our hands full since the get-go on this whole thing. But nonetheless, we're still here. We're gonna look forward to having a great, safe, and responsible summer. hitting up these breweries, making sure everyone's having a fun time, enjoying all the best beer here in Cape Cod.
Yeah, I mean, as long as everybody plays nice, then you guys should be up and running real soon. What are you considered as a business? Your phase 3, you said. What are you considered as?
Yeah, we're considered tours. We're tour service. We got a
Okay.
bus. We are going out. We operate under a charter license, similar to if you were to rent out a limo. But those group members that have come on the Brew Bus know that this is a lot more fun than a limo. This is like a little tavern on wheels. We've had some great fun here on the bus. I actually got my daughter on it right now, jumping around, having a ball. It's too fun here.
Yeah, you decked out the bus. That
yeah, it's a good time. A lot of our group members we have a great sound system here, and it's Bluetooth enabled. So typically someone would kind of capture it on the tour, and we'd be jamming, people be singing. I mean, heck, I kind of thought I should have a karaoke machine on here at certain times. But we are a tour service, so we land under phase 3. So we're looking at probably 6 weeks out, hopefully being able to start resuming operations in the way that I mentioned before.
did I see on your Facebook page that the store is opening soon?
Excuse me, the store?
Yeah, I saw online that the online store is opening, so where you can buy the hats and the
Yeah, well,
I saw that on your Facebook page.
The Brew Bus itself has been our mobile store. Those of you who have been on the bus, we got a cool little rack and back with our hats, and beer soap is one of our favorite things. The bus always smells like beer and beer soap. But yeah, we've also been kind of making a couple chairs, because at the Brew Fest last year we set up these little stargazers. I'm gonna actually stand up for a second so you can see what it is. It's essentially 2 pieces of wood, but it makes a sweet little chair here. And on the bottom is a beer opener.
Oh wow!
It's essentially a giant bottle opener, which
That's
is sweet.
awesome.
You always gotta be able to open a beer.
You never have to go anywhere.
Yeah, well, we had a great reception at the Brew Fest last year. People kept sitting at them and like, "Are these for sale?" And at that point, they were just cool things on the Brew Bus. So I've been kind of banging them out in the free time, and we're looking at probably hitting up some destinations like the beach, setting up the chairs, putting out cornhole and maybe some bocce ball, social distance friendly brew tour.
You're one of those businesses that thought outside the box, and that's fantastic.
On the get-go, man. But I think that's the way to be. You got to be flexible. We got to be adaptable, and that's I think all in all, it's gonna make for a great year. We're all gonna make it through this, regardless of what sector you're in, whether you're unemployed or employed at this time. We all, as I think a nation, we're gonna make it through this. We just gotta keep the direction right, keep our heads on straight, be cautious, be smart, be informed. Pretty optimistic.
Now, Ryan, I know the future is uncertain, at least the near future is uncertain, but can people go online and book a date now? Just to reserve that date? Okay.
Yeah, not right now. The reason for that is that the breweries that we visit, they're also just as uncertain as we all are, if not more. They're dealing with a lot more moving parts and gears in their machine. So we're really waiting to see how they set the pace, how they set the playing field, and we're going to come along and synergize as best we can. But as of right now, no, we don't have any availabilities out. I'd expect to see those, though, come up in probably 3 to 4 weeks as we see how the next month.
Run us through the tour. Tell me about some of the breweries you're visiting. Tell me about the time spent on the bus. I know there's like an education component to this where people can learn about what they're drinking.
Exactly, man. Well, I already told you how to brew beer.
Yes, right.
We're all beer lovers here. So we've had a lot of great talks over our many tours last year, just with people who have been slightly interested in brewing their own beer but never really took that step. And I've gotten emails back after tours of people saying that they brewed their first batch and they're now lifelong brewers. And I know for a fact that type of person is the type of person I am, and it's a great thing. But in terms of the actual tours that we ran last year, yeah, we hit up Cape Cod Beer, Knockabout Brewery, and Barnstable Brewing, all here on Cape Cod. So you end up going from Mashpee all the way to Hyannis. Got a good tour of the Cape and got to try some great different beers. It was about 3.5 hours I had mentioned before, but the tours this year we're looking at probably just showcasing one brewery at a time, trying a variety pack of theirs, because these breweries are making a lot of different beers. At times, sometimes over 20 different options, which is a lot to try.
Wow.
And a lot to fit in your belly as well.
Could you see this model doing well in just any rural area, or should it be done in a vacation destination? Because, I mean, we've got a few great breweries out here in Central Mass, And I think it would be a great model for our area. But I don't know if it would be like an every night type thing, like the,
You're
like
right.
a regular summer week on the Cape.
Yeah, I think you're right to some degree in that you want it to be a vacation destination. You and I both know Cape Cod is amazing on the summer. It's unlike anywhere else. But to the respect that a safe and responsible way to go out in the town and enjoy getting a little beer buzz on. Let's be real. We're all adults, and for the most part, most of us are responsible. We want to drink and just have some fun. It's good for
Sure.
mental health if you're doing it right. But driving yourself to somewhere, drinking up, getting the buzz on, and driving home is not the best way to do it. So to that, I say, yeah, I think this does work everywhere. Just got to have creative people to creatively mitigate that risk.
Well, I think it's a great idea because with craft beer, you can't really. I mean, you can drink to excess, but I think most people that drink craft beer they want to enjoy it, so they're not downing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the beauty of craft beer and all is that it's not a bunch of guys just trying to get drunk. I mean, honestly, this is a craft that isn't new at all. This is what people have been doing. This was like a trade back in the day for thousands of years ago. You were the town brewer or something. And some amazing stuff you can make just in your kitchen, or just going over to the local brewery and getting something that was just kegged yesterday, opposed to been sitting in a freezer or a cooler for maybe 8 weeks before you consume it.
It's all natural. It's coming from right over there, right over here. We actually we do a little low rent booze cruise or beer bus type thing. We actually rent school buses and we do it for charity, but we hit about 7 or 8 local establishments over the course of a day on a school bus. It's so
doing the same thing I'm doing, man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
I mean, as long as you got someone responsible behind the wheel who's not drinking,
right.
That's the type of fun that we're trying to bring in a professional and organized and just almost thematic way. It's just getting on a bus, having fun with your friends or even strangers, and just enjoying what that locale has to offer in terms of beer. And also, I shouldn't even just say beer, wine as well. We hit up Truro Vineyards quite a few times last year with groups that were calling up and wanted to do private charters, basically design their own brew tour, which we loved. Honestly, we had some of the most fun on those where a group would call up, say, hey, I got about 10 of us. We're a family. We want to get picked up in Hyannis. Go hit this brewery, that brewery, and then go to P-Town, Race Point. And the brew bus went up to Race Point a few times last summer. Man, it was a ball. Just standing on the tip of Cape Cod, looking out into the oblivion, just the ocean. It was such a fun time. I got to experience it as well did Brendan, our other driver, Justin and Gary, our guides. It was really a magical summer, man. We look forward to having another one this year, even if it's different because of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
We're here for our patrons. We hope to have another great summer and share the good times and the good beers.
All right. Well, Cape Cod Brew Bus is the website. You can get in touch with Ryan. You guys are on Facebook as well. Book a private tour, and everything will be back to normal soon. And this is the summer that we'll get out and visit you guys.
Soon enough, my man. Thank you much. Glad you're wearing the hat.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I wear it every day. Jim, my friend Jim, who works with you, would say, you got to wear the hat that night. I'm like, I wear it every day. It's my hat. So I've been wearing it for a couple years now.
Awesome, Ray. Well, thank you much for having us on.
Cheers. Thanks, Ryan.
You got it, my man.
That's Ryan from Cape Cod Brew Bus, and we're going to get on the bus. We're going to do a Pub Kings thing. I know we are. That's going to be a lot of fun. All right, let me check some comments before we get to our next guest. Cape Cod Brew Bus. Yes, Cat. Isn't it awesome? Jim. That's the Jim I was talking about. What's up, Jim? Nice hat. I know, right? Hi, Mary. How are you? Pictures or she's lying. See, the problem is this was probably something I said a while back, and I don't remember what that was. But hi, Matt. Happy Friday. Well, Jen, we made a margarita, a classic margarita. And hello, Jen. Cheers, Erik. Boozin with Bill. All right, it goes on and on. Boozin. Yes, Jay, Boozin. Jay's famous for that. And we're gonna do our nightcap with Jay a little bit later on. And it goes on and on. Hi, everybody. And welcome to the show. This is the 5th show. I'm having a great time. I moved the location. I just pivoted the table just a bit so you can experience Mantown from another point of view. These are all my toys. Say hi to the folks. I don't really talk to my toys. All right. So my next guest, I used to have on the radio years back. I love talking to him because I love movies. Movies really is my jam. Hold on. I got to get rid of, oh, there it is. Get rid of that. Movies are my jam. And this guy gets to talk to some of the biggest stars in Hollywood about some of the biggest movies. So let's look at that. Jay and Silent Bob right there. The cast of Toy Story 4 in this picture. And who else we got? Now, this is cool. The cast of The Karate Kid and Cobra Kai. And I'm trying to get, what's his name? This guy here in the middle. He'll know. Erik will know. Let's go to Erik Davis because he talked to them. Erik Davis, what's happening, man? How are you?
What's going on, man? How's it going?
Good. Marty. His name is Marty.
Martin Kreese. Yeah.
Martin Kreese. Yeah.
Well, Martin Cove. Kreese is the character.
Kreese. I talked to his handler the other day, and he might be on this show next week.
Right on.
Okay. How have you been?
Yeah, I've been doing good. It's been an interesting time. Fandango sells movie tickets, so movie theaters being closed presented an interesting situation for us. But I think what's been good about this is that we've been able to sort of lean into a lot of the other areas that we don't necessarily lean into all the time, like our at-home service, Fandango Now, where you can buy and rent movies. So we've been doing a lot of at-home stuff. A lot of these movies that were coming to theaters have been coming to your home. So I've been covering those films, some more of them coming in June. And then also doing some stuff on YouTube. We also have this really great movie clips channel that we debut trailers and do conversations on. And we streamed movies with Lionsgate for 4 weeks, and it was really cool on Friday nights. So just kind of honestly getting involved in any kind of movie action that exists right now and sort of biding my time until theaters come back.
I wanted to talk about this. What are your thoughts on that? Because I love going to the theaters. I do. I think most movies, especially the big budgets, should be seen on a big screen. I don't go as much as I used to. I used to go see the independent movies on the screen, on the big screen. Now it's easier to watch at home. Now COVID-19 happened. Now I can watch Trolls World Tour with my family, save a lot of money, watch from home. What's the future of the big screen? What's going to happen?
I don't know. I'm curious. Just like you. I think it's until we have a little bit more of a normal setting where theaters are back open around the world and people are going and the blockbusters are coming back out and we can see sort of what that environment looks like and how that evolves. Only then will we know what changes and what doesn't. I still think you're going to have, a lot of studios, all of the studios really postponed their biggest movies for theaters to later in 2020 into 21, some 21 movies into 22. So, studios are banking on that theatrical experience not going anywhere. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's going to be different for the time being. And what that is specifically, we don't even know that yet. I think we're starting to get that information probably within the next couple of weeks. And so we'll see. And really, I think we're going to be in a take it as it comes, take each week as it comes. There are a lot of huge movies sort of waiting right now to come back out. So I think if theaters do open and when they do open, there's going to be a lot of stuff sort of on the back burner that's been postponed. And you're going to get definitely in that latter half of the year, like that holiday season could be huge. A lot of big movies.
I mean, the summer season really kicked off last weekend where we would see some of the biggest movies. What was scheduled for last week that didn't play?
What do we have? Well, it's interesting. I think we had Artemis Fowl, the Disney movie, that was going to be the Memorial Day weekend movie. That film is now coming on to Disney Plus, the streaming service, on June 12th. We also had a Fast and Furious movie, the 9th installment in that franchise, moved to April of next year. And then we also had a Black Widow, the Marvel movie, was supposed to open up May. That moved into November of this year. So yeah, we would have had a couple of really big movies, a couple like Black Widow and F9 would have done some damage at the box office. So we would have had a big May happening right now, leading into Wonder Woman 1984 and Top Gun Maverick would have been like the big ones in June.
So will there be a gap at some point if you're moving these movies out and the studios are closed right now? Are they going to be able to get back on track, or will we eventually see a gap in the big budget movies coming out? We'll get all the ones that were supposed to come out now out then, but then won't there be a gap after that?
I don't necessarily think there will be a gap. If anything, I think you're going to have a bit of a pileup. Between now and theaters opening, a lot of films are coming home. Some smaller films like June 12th is a big day, first of all, across all platforms. Big movies. Spike Lee has a new movie on Netflix called Defy Bloods. The King of Staten Island, Judd Apatow's next movie, is going to be on digital on like Fandango now. Artemis Fowl, which I just mentioned, is going to be on Disney+. June 12th may be the most significant release date so far of the summer season. And so that is noteworthy. But once we get past that and once theaters do open, there is going to be a bit of a pileup. You do have a lot of films that shifted into the later part of the year. And while those are playing, some of the films that shifted into 2021 will be taking that time and using that time to finish up their post-production and visual effects and take those extra some odd months that they were delayed to really kind of finish their movie. So I think if anything, a lot of these big blockbusters are already on these shortened timelines. And that's why you'll watch something with a lot of special effects and be like, that looks weird, or that doesn't really look right. And some of the time it's because they were so rushed to get to meet a release date. So for some of these big blockbusters, I think it's actually good to be delayed and have that extra time in order to finesse things and make them just right.
Are you enjoying the other formats? Because I know I love when a movie just drops on Netflix that should be in the theater, but you get to watch it day one in the comfort of your home. I have them all. I've got Hulu, I've got Netflix, I got Amazon Prime. I just did Apple Plus. And what's the other one that I'm missing?
HBO Max. HBO Max just dropped.
Right? I mean, do you prefer that? You're fine. You're still going to be able to interview. These people still have to do press, even if it's Netflix or Hulu with a big screen. So are you enjoying these pay services?
I mean,
what they're offering?
Yeah, I mean, we have one too. Fandango now, you can buy and rent. And so I think it's interesting because there's all different windows, right? And that's what a lot of people are talking about in the industry are these windows. So when a movie leaves the theater, it comes home onto a service like Fandango now or iTunes, and you can buy or rent it. It's not on Netflix or Amazon. And then it waits another couple of months, and then it's on DVD, and then it's another couple of months, and then Amazon or Netflix will get it unless it's an Amazon movie or an Apple movie. And so some of these streamers are now acquiring films, like Apple just acquired the new Greyhound Tom Hanks movie that was postponed. And they're also going to partner with Paramount on Martin Scorsese's next movie. So yeah, to a certain degree, it's kind of cool to have some of these bigger movies that you can watch at home. When Trolls hit, when Scoob hit, my whole family watched it and it was fun. But then that being said, there's no way I want to see an F9 movie at home on my TV for the first time, or Top Gun Maverick, or Black Widow, or A Quiet Place 2, which I was actually be able to see right before theaters closed down. Was moved over to September, and it's insanely scary watching that in a theater. So, I mean, I am always going to be first and foremost a champion of that theatrical experience. I think that if you find a theater and you vibe with it and you like the way they do things and you like their seats, then just keep going back and keep visiting them and enjoy that experience. But there's nothing beats sort of watching something with a crowd, especially something that's really anticipated. And then seeing those jokes land or seeing those scares land, it just enhances that experience of watching the movie. So I'm always going to be a fan of that. That being said, I do like, some movies coming home that feel like I don't necessarily need to rush out to see it on a giant screen. Some of these like sort of adult dramas and whatnot has been fun. And some family movies too have been fun to watch at home.
Yeah, movies like King of Staten Island, I think that's going to be fine on the small screen. But I think for as much work as he puts in, I think we owe it to Tom Cruise to go see it on the big screen. The guy's insane. And he's not only insane, but as an actor, he's still one of my favorite actors. I don't care what you say about the guy. What he puts into a movie is incredible.
Oh, yeah. And I've actually been able to speak to Tom Cruise,
of course.
3 times.
Wow.
And he is an incredibly passionate about the movie making process, and just like the nicest dude in the world. One of the nicest guys I've literally ever interviewed, and somebody who just is so passionate about that process and loves talking about it. Some of the Mission Impossible Fallout was one of my favorite interviews with him, just breaking down that movie and some of the big stunts that he did and how he did it. And in Top Gun Maverick, which is postponed to December now this year, he flies his own jets and whatnot. So I'm hoping to talk to him again about that. But yeah, it's been, he gives you my father told me when I was a little kid, he said, Tom Cruise is a guy that gives you your money's worth. And I've always said that about him. And I agree completely. One of the only actors left, that gives you everything that he's got, literally risks his life to make these movies. And I think that we owe him, to watch that on a big screen.
Absolutely. I just saw a documentary on maybe Amazon about action movies from the 80s, and his name came up. They were like, there are no more action heroes except maybe Tom Cruise. All right. Let's talk about some other things that maybe the bulk of people want to hear, like these simple questions I'm sure you get all the time. Who was your favorite interview that you've ever done?
Oh, wow. Favorite interview that I've ever done. I was actually thinking about that the other day, because I was watching something with Samuel L. Jackson, and one of my first interviews with him was really cool. And we were sat on a couch for about a half hour and chatted. But for me, filmmakers are I'm a big filmmakers nerd, and so when Scorsese announced his next movie, it's going to be Killers of the Flower Moon. It's going to be kind of a Western sort of film about the formation of the FBI in the 1920s. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to be in it. Robert De Niro is going to be in it. So some of those Scorsese originals are going to be in it. And so I was thinking about interviewing him. He's on like my bucket list. He's like the last filmmaker on my bucket list. And so I was going through some of the filmmakers that were on my bucket list that I interviewed. And so some of those were my favorite. Steven Spielberg, I got a lot of time with him for that film Ready Player One. So that was movie. A big one for me. I grew up on Spielberg movies. Getting to talk to him about that was really special. Paul Thomas Anderson, who did Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood and Punch Drunk Love and The Master. I'm a big fan of his, so I got to sit down with him recently to talk to him for an extended period of time. David Fincher, Fight Club, Social Network, big fan of his work. I got to talk to him. And so some of those conversations for me are the most fulfilling because they're usually not on camera. And I have some time. Christopher Nolan is another one. And I'm as we speak, I've been harassing Warner Brothers because I want to talk to him.
How do you get in his mind? How do you get into Christopher Nolan's mind? I can't imagine that. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah. He's such a champion of the theatrical experience. And so I like to talk to him about that. And there's really there's kind of a small section of filmmakers right now working that are just huge champions of movie theaters and are trying to hold up that experience like almost on their shoulders. Martin Scorsese, Christopher Nolan, James Cameron making those Avatar movies that are really pushing the way that they make films and trying to keep that experience one that's special for people. And I think Christopher Nolan is one of those filmmakers. Every movie he makes, he tries to do something different that challenges him as a filmmaker, that challenges the medium, that challenges us as an audience. And Tenet looks like one of those crazy brain twisters that you're going to have to watch 15 times in order to get it, which I love. And that's another reason why I love his films. So the long story to your question is some of those interviews with those filmmakers for me, as just an old school film nerd, were really special.
Do you enjoy, I'm sure you enjoy both, but there's two different types of interviews. One is the circuit where everyone's sitting down, you come in, someone else comes in, you got 10 minutes with them and that's it. And then you have another one, like what looked like the cast of The Karate Kid, where you're in a hotel room talking to them. You have a little bit more personal time with them. What do you prefer?
Oh, I mean, the Karate Kid, that situation, that one was two. There's a really, if you're a Karate Kid fan, this is one of my favorite movies of all time, that original Karate Kid. So for me, that picture, when you showed it, I had a big goofy smile on my face, because that was like the culmination of my entire childhood, was that picture. But those guys, after that was actually taken at the South by Southwest Film Festival. They were debuting some Cobra Kai stuff there. If you haven't watched Cobra Kai, awesome series, watch it. And then they came into our studio, and I did an oral history on the original Karate Kid with them talking about sort of how it all came together for Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is also a part sort of sister site to Fandango. So go on their YouTube page if you love Karate Kid. It's an awesome oral history that we did, and I interviewed them and talked about that. So really, really cool. But yeah, those long form stuff. One time I sat down with Kurt Russell for a half hour. That was another one that was really, really cool interview for me, and he was super, super cool.
I hear he's amazing, just really accommodating, and
Him, Steve Carell too. Steve Carell. One of the nicest guys. I did a couple of interviews for Beautiful Boy, the film that he did with Timothy Chalamet. Who's also a cool dude. But Carell, just nicest guy.
I'm watching him in the morning show right now. That's a great series on YouTube. Do you enjoy TV? I know you're a movie guy, but do you enjoy TV? And do you like those series that play like a movie?
A little bit, yeah. I definitely think that we're seeing a lot of really cool filmmakers have the opportunity to stretch their abilities on TV. I think David Fincher's done some really good stuff, and I'm interested to see Damien Chazelle, who I'm a big fan of, just did a show on Netflix called The Eddie. He also did La La Land, which was nominated for all these Oscars.
I love that,
and Whiplash, which is awesome. So I anytime a filmmaker that I'm a fan of on the big screen comes and is like, I'm going to do an 8 to 9 to 10 part series, I'm down for it all the way. I think we're going to eventually see Quentin Tarantino go that route, which would be really exciting. And so I hope, Spike Lee is getting into the Netflix game. I would love to see Spike Lee take on like a 10-part series and do something really, really cool. He's been involved, like She's Gotta Have It has come to series and stuff like that, but I would love to see something new and fresh and different from him. And so, I think we're going to see sort of a lot of filmmakers do that. And I'm always down for that. Watchmen was probably my last full series that I watched from start to finish that I just adored. Like it was the coolest series, maybe one of the greatest sort of sequels, which is weird. It's like a sequel to a graphic novel, but also a movie, which was an adaptation. But Watchmen, the HBO show, just blew my mind. I think that should win everything. I think it was just brilliant.
Well, Erik, it was great talking to you. You have an amazing job. I want your job. I wanted to bring up the hat. Is this now like that's something in the industry, right? I'm sure people meet you and say, "Oh, you're the guy with the hat."
Yeah. No,
right?
I this hat. I didn't. I wasn't crazy about it. Somebody was like, "You should throw on pub caps," and I started doing it, and I was just like, "Yeah, it just fits." So I dig it. So yeah, but
they must recognize you. Stars must recognize you now.
They do. That's another good thing. Sometimes there's a lot of people that kind of get in front of them when we're talking about those quick video interviews. You want somebody who kind of remembers you and remembers having a good conversation with you, because really on those like 4.5 minutes you have with those people, you have like 30 seconds to kind of, break the ice. And sometimes it's like De Niro and Anne Hathaway. I was like, I had 30 seconds and Anne Hathaway remembered me from something else. And in that 30 seconds, she takes it down. She takes him down. He's off guard. And now you can have a much better interview because that ice is broken. And so, so the hat comes in handy.
Yeah, I always try to do that. It's like if I'm talking to a band, the question you don't ask is how did you get the name of the band? Tell me about that story. So you break the ice with a hat or with an off, and throw them off with a question that they're not used to. But exactly. I see that in your interviews, you're very conversational and you put people at ease. So I enjoy watching your interviews.
I try. I mean, we're just talking about movies, so
but that's the best thing to talk about. I love talking about movies, and we could talk forever. And this happened when you were on the radio with me. It was like, we could talk forever. Anyway, Fandango.com. Where else can people see your work?
Yeah, Fandango.com, and right now, Fandango Now. Buy and rent movies. If you want to see some of this stuff that's coming home that was supposed to go to theaters, go over to Fandango Now. It's on all your devices, and and give it a shot. It's pretty cool.
Awesome. Love the posters in the background. Those are awesome. The
Back
DeLorean.
to the Future, one of my favorite. I also interviewed Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, 25th anniversary. That was another bucket list off that. That was awesome.
Amazing. Really Yeah, I got my tribute over there too. Erik, thank you. Take care. Good to see you.
Thanks a lot, man. Take care.
All right, bye. That's Erik Davis. Love that guy. All right, so my next guest, and we've got Jay coming in soon for our nightcap, but let's go to our final guest tonight, and let me introduce you with a few photos. Well, first of all, let's talk about the city. This is I have an opening for this. I'm sorry. You know what? Drinking at the beginning of the show is probably not a good idea. Maybe we should save the boozing with Bill till the end of the show. But let's start it off. Is that proper? Did that seem proper? I don't know. I'm still working on it. All right, we are going up north to Portland, Maine. I love Portland, Maine. Look at that beautiful city by the sea. I know this alley, and we'll talk about this in a second. It's full of mom and pop shops. It's quaint. It's still a city, but you feel like you're kind of rural in a smaller town. We went with a bunch of friends just a few years ago. There we are. Look at us. We look like the cast of The Real World Portland, the senior edition. We got pizza at Slab. Look at that pizza. It's amazing. I've considered driving up to Portland just to get that pizza. We had a lot of fun while we were up there. Apparently, Chris had too much fun. We were drinking these things. You can't see it because Chris is swigging one down, but it is a rum bucket, and it was glorious. Jay will tell you all about it in just a bit. The bars are amazing. There's just this was just a little bar that we stumbled upon. Tiny place. They had the best beer menu. And I think that's all I have for pictures. So let's bring in my friend. That's right. I know this guy. I didn't know the people in the past from Cleveland and Minneapolis and Austin. That was all random. But I decided to bring in a friend today. And we have AJ from Rewind 100.9. I think that's AJ. Or is it Batman? What's up, Batman? How are you?
Well, I was told that whenever I'm coming into contact with someone, I should wear a mask.
That is a good idea. You should always wear the mask, and just for safety purposes.
Yeah. It's a little uncomfortable though. So,
how are you, man?
I'm doing good. It's good to see you.
So, a little background: AJ and myself worked at JYY in Concord, New Hampshire, and this was. I'm trying to remember the date. I think it was the early 2000s is when we worked together. I was there for about 3 years.
Yeah, it was like almost 20 years ago, dude.
How is that possible?
I don't even know. And before we start talking about Portland, I just got to say that you, my friend, you age like a fine wine. Look at you. You're a gorgeous specimen of a man.
I got the right lighting on me.
With age, you just get better, man. So whatever you're doing, everybody else should do it. You look really good.
Thank you. It's alcohol. I'm preserving myself.
Hey, cheers.
Cheers, buddy. So, okay. So you tell me about, you were in Concord, New Hampshire for a while, and then I think we lost track, and then we saw each other again not too long ago for bad reasons. Actually, it's funny because his photo is right up there. Fugitive Monkeys, myself and Al, our good friend Al, who we lost. God, I say a few years, but it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been 5 years.
Oh, so maybe a year or two before that. No, it was my 40th birthday party. You and Al came to see me here in Milford, and that was awesome. That was a nice surprise.
That was really good, and we had a lot of fun that night. I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, you stayed over, and we talked a lot, and it was great to catch up. But it's been a while.
I remember being hungover as fuck the next morning.
Yeah, it was one of those nights. So tell me about where you are in your radio career. You're in Portland, obviously.
So I spent most of my life in New Hampshire. About 5 years ago, I got the call to come up here to Portland, Maine, to work for a group of legendary stations including the Rock and Roll Blimp, WBLM, WCYY, Q97.9, 94.9 HOM, just all huge stations, all in that one building, and had a great time working for those guys. Studios located in One City Center, which is in Monument Square, which is in the heart of downtown Portland. So it was a great experience to work there for close to 5 years.
Wow.
Recently made a change, went across the street to some other great stations as well. And now I'm doing the morning show on a station called Rewind 100.9. Having a lot of fun there and playing some great music, man. You would love all the songs we play. We actually, you're a Billy Joel fan, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Who isn't?
We play a lot of Billy Joel.
Okay. I think we do the same thing. We do classic hits of the 70s, 80s, and 90s.
There you go. Yeah. So pretty much the same format. A lot of Billy Joel, Prince, Elton John, and Michael Jackson, Madonna, really kind of focusing on the 80s kind of stuff, but some 70s in there as well, and maybe a little bit of 90s too.
Can I just ask, where the hell are you right now?
I am in my home in Scarborough, which is a suburb of Portland. I'm in my sunroom, actually.
Why is it light outside? It's dark at my house. I'm only in Massachusetts. It is. It's like 12 p.m. at your house.
I think we're in a different time zone.
I guess so. All right. So I had you on to talk about Portland. I love Portland. I've been up there twice now, and it's a one-nighter, a two-nighter. You could stay for as long as you want, but I think it's one of those places that you can visit with friends, bar hop, go to some fine restaurants, check out the breweries. It's such a vibrant town. Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Before I made the move here 5 years ago, I had visited a handful of times, and I always kind of looked at Portland as it's like a mini Boston. It's much smaller than Boston, but it's like, it has that vibe. It has that old, it's that old town vibe. You've got some of the cobblestone streets, the very unique pubs and restaurants. I think I saw some of the pictures that you were showing. It looks like you spent a little time in the Old Port.
Yeah.
Which is really,
I don't know what the old, let me bring one of these up. Is that the Old Port?
That's the Old Port right there. Yeah.
All right. Tell me what's there, because it looks very familiar. Let me tell you where I went. I went to a country bar, or we went to a country bar that had free bacon for like happy hour.
Okay. So the country bar is on that street. That's called Wharf Street.
Okay.
And that's actually where I had my first date with my fiance.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. It's so funny. I decided, I scored a date with this really hot girl. And so where am I going to take her? All right. I know where I'll take her. I'll take her to the cheapest fucking bar in town where the house shots or the whiskey shots are $1. They've got free bacon. You get burgers for like $2.
You got to sit in the saddles at the table.
Saddles. See, my thinking was you set the bar low. So that way, her expectations are low.
And then you can go across the street and get one of these things.
Exactly.
And I don't know if they still have them there. I don't know if it was just a one-night thing, but these things were dangerous.
Yep.
And I actually have we got some comments here about those. The rum buckets. Dangerous. Rum buckets are dangerous, but so good. And Jay, all the rum. These are people that were with me that night.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And then we ended up, hold on, I got one more here. We ended up doing this.
Oh yeah.
The drunk sway in the alleyway, and there was this awesome band playing, and I think they play up there a lot. I'll have to get you the name. But then there were places where you could just relax.
Yeah.
And
there's Bonfire.
That's Bonfire?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's the country bar.
Yeah.
Now there was a little hipster bar too in the same area where you had to walk down to get into it, and it was just one small bar, and on the back they had a chalkboard, and it had like 40 or 50 beers on there that they were serving.
Hard to say which one that was, because there's about 100 of those.
All like that.
You describe that, and that's what it is. One of my favorite spots in Portland, I don't know if you hit this spot, it's called Lincoln's. Does that sound familiar?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Lincoln's is a secret bar. Yeah. It's they don't like to call it a speakeasy, but it is in the sense that they don't advertise their address. There's no sign outside. There's really no way of knowing where it is. And even as you get in the building, it's really tricky to actually know exactly which door to go into.
Okay.
But once you get in there, it's pretty cool because you're like, yeah, I'm in Lincoln's, and it's like really one of the best kept secrets in Portland.
I will have to ask you about that next time we come up because I'm definitely planning another trip up there.
It's great. There's actually a couple different those little hidden bars. I mean, the thing about Portland, it's great because there are more. I think there are more either restaurants or bars or maybe both per capita, like in that small area. Than like anywhere in the country. I mean, there's a lot. Like you can spend a whole weekend here and still not hit everything because there's really a lot.
And not just the bars, but little coffee shops and mom and pop stores, specialty shops. I mean, a lot of shopping can be done up there. What about entertainment? Talk about the entertainment in Portland.
Yeah. It's great. If you love music, you'll love Portland because there are so many great music venues from the Cross Insurance Arena, which is the big one, about 8,000 seater. That's where the big acts come. And then you've got some of the theaters, the Merrill Auditorium, the State Theater, which will hold around, maybe 1,000 people or so. Aura is a brand new venue that holds about the same amount of people. And then you've got all of these smaller clubs that will have sometimes some national touring acts, but sometimes some local acts as well. And there's a pretty decent local music scene here as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And tell me about the art scene. If people wanted to just experience art, the artistic community, is there a lot of? I mean, it seems like an artistic town to me.
It really is. I mean, that's one of the things that really drew me here and keeps me here is the art and the culture. In addition to the great music scene, the arts, the museums. There's the Portland Museum of Art is a great place. That you can just go and they're always doing all sorts of fun, innovative things to keep people coming in. There's also another museum here that you need to check out next time you come up here. It is the Bigfoot Museum.
No kidding. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, not a lot of people know about it, but there is a Bigfoot Museum here.
Is it like a speakeasy?
No. It's an actual museum dedicated to what do they call Bigfoot? There's
Sasquatch.
There's a scientific name for his type. I don't know, but this museum is dedicated to that.
All right. Are you enjoying mornings?
Yeah. Getting up at 3:30 kind of blows.
It does. It's tough. I'm doing mornings too. And when I knew you, you were doing afternoons.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing mornings?
I started doing mornings when I first got up here, so it's been about 5 years. You don't get used to it. I don't know. Have you gotten used to it?
No, and it's been a long time for me. It's been just about 10 years here, and then at JYY, and it's not. You don't get used to it. You're just always tired. I can't go to bed earlier than 10 o'clock.
Do you nap?
I come home and I try, but I'm just, with 2 kids and too busy. It doesn't work. And then if I do nap, if I can't get a nap, it ends up being 3 or 4 hours, and then it just screws everything up. So
exactly, because
you got to be careful. Yeah. So I just stay awake. I drink a lot of coffee.
It's messed up. And then when you get to the weekend, it's like, what am I supposed to keep my same sleep schedule? Am I supposed to go to bed at 8 o'clock?
You do what you do. You are you still playing music? Because we were in a band together called the Fugitive Monkeys. I love telling the story. It was like a spring jam or a winter jam. I can't remember which one it was. And we decided to put a station band together. So it was you, me, amazing. Al, and I think we had to get somebody from the outside. So it was Dave from October Sons, and we played it in front of like 600-700 people at the.
No. It was bigger than that because
was it bigger than that?
The house was sold. It was the Capitol Center for the Arts.
Yeah,
it was sold out. And that place holds 1,200 people.
Wow. Okay. So my story just got better.
Yeah.
And we got up there and we did 3 or 4 songs, and I can't remember who we were opening for. Was it Dexter Freebish? Because I know we did a show with them, but I can't remember who. Carla Ryder was on that bill, I think.
Christina Milian.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So she was in that movie.
Like recently, she was in something.
Yeah. She was in a really good movie with John Travolta. Trying to remember which one that was. I don't know.
How cool was it being at JYY? Harry, who was the program director, always pulled the biggest stars at that moment up to New Hampshire to do interviews and shows.
I don't know how he
with
did
us,
it.
right? I mean, we talked to some big people back then.
Yeah. Yep.
We went to all the concerts.
And the funny thing is that when Harry decided to leave and go do his own thing, I took over his job, and I found it to be impossible to get the record label reps to pay attention to me. Yeah. There was something. Harry had some sort of magic. I think he had some major dirt on them. is how he got that done.
Yeah. And of course, the radio industry isn't what it used to be.
Well,
the
it's
backstage,
not.
The backstage passes have dried up. And
yeah, but
remember the prize closet? Remember we had the reams of CDs?
It was amazing. But funny little sidebar about that. When I was in New Hampshire and I was programming JYY, I would beg the label reps to pay attention to me, and I couldn't get anybody's attention. But when I came up here to Portland, I mean, Portland's not that much bigger, but in terms of radio market size, it's so much more important to the record reps. And I couldn't fight them off with a stick.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a good thing.
Oh, well, it's a good thing. It's very time consuming.
Yeah.
Being on the phone with all of them, several times a week. But yeah, I mean, definitely, I made some great friendships and relationships while programming Q97.9 up here. But yeah, it was amazing how that dynamic changed. Not that much bigger of a market here, but in terms of radio market size, a world of difference.
Well, buddy, I'm glad you're doing well. It's great to see you. Thanks for coming on to talk about that awesome city of Portland. And I think we're going to plan a fall trip. Maureen says we're planning a fall trip. So I will look you up when we get there.
Please do. And Ray, whatever it is you're doing, if you're drinking the blood of small children,
sure,
I don't know what it is, but you got to pass that along to me so that I can get whatever that is that you have.
It's the sick is what I call it. It's not, you don't want it. Okay. Hey, cheers, buddy.
Hey, cheers.
Be safe. Keep that mask on.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, buddy. That is AJ. Oh, it's so good to see old friends, isn't it? That's awesome. Let me check some of the comments that we have. I'm waiting for Jay. I don't know where Jay is. Jay's sleeping. Jay drank all the rum and he's not coming on. Oh, Erik. No, that's not him. That's AJ scooting out of here. Let's go back a bit. What do we got? And then I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go make another margarita. I think this was delicious. Thank you very much, Bill. Boozing with Bill. That margarita was awesome. Thank you, Erik Davis from Fandango.com. I love talking movies. I really do. And that guy is so much fun to talk to. He knows everything there is to know. I'm so jealous of that guy. He gets to talk to people every day. You saw the picture. I don't have to tell you. Where is it? Look at that. Come on. There's another one. It's hiding. Hold on. You got to get the full effect of this one. Oh, there's so many buttons to push. And it's so late to be pushing buttons. Look at that. That is the son of a gun. Thank you. That's the cast of Toy Story 4. It's got Keanu Reeves in there, not just Tom Hanks and the home improvement guy, Tim Allen. It's got Annie Potts. What? Come on. So and there's him smiling, looking at Tom Hanks, saying, I bet you he's going to want to have drinks with me later. That's the problem with me. If I was to interview people like that, if I could, my first thought would be, we're having drinks out, and then we're going to be best friends. That's it. He's coming over for dinner. That's what would happen to me. And then I'd be a horrible interviewer. I've interviewed a lot of people. I have. Not to that status. And I would love to get there someday. But like we were talking about, it is fun interviewing the B-listers. And no disrespect to these guys, but they are B-listers. Cobra Kai is huge right now. So they've stepped their game up a bit. But those are the people I love talking about. You can get a little bit more out of them. These guys, they've got their answers. They know what they're going to say. They've got an agenda and a schedule, and they're meeting the schedule and everything. But look at how much fun they're having with Erik. Oh, I love it. These guys, you can open up. You can get inside. All right. Well, I guess Jay's not going to join me, which is too bad because I love playing this. Oh, Jay's internet just went down. Likely excuse. Thanks everybody for watching. Let me see if there's any questions I can answer. When do you sell this show like Jim from The Office did? Are you kidding me? Oh my God, I would love to. I don't make that kind of Jim money though. I would probably do this for a nice bottle of tequila. I would sell this for a nice bottle of tequila at this point. He's doing great and having the most fun. Absolutely. Who's that? Maybe he's talking about Ryan. Thank you very much to Ryan from Cape Cod Brew Bus. They were awesome. That place is awesome. I want to do that here in Milford. I don't know if that'll happen though. But I think we could do something like that. But if you can't do it here, go out to the Cape and get on the bus. Have a great day, everybody, or night. I don't know. Again, I think the Boozin' with Bill thing has to be done at the end of the show, if I'm being completely honest with you. Tomorrow, noon, on the Rubber Chicken Comics Facebook page and the Amped Up Promotions Facebook page, it's Chicken Chat. I'm a part of that Chicken Chat, and it's a lot of fun. So tune in for that at noon, and then Distracted Driving on Sunday night. And you can find that on the Distracted Driving Facebook page and Amped Up Promotions Facebook page. I forget what we're talking about, but it's fun. Tim, Jay, and myself. Who keeps texting me as I'm talking here? All right, everybody. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Hold on one sec. Can you guys just hold still for a second? Because this is going to take, you know that I can't do two things at the same time. If you listen to my show, you know I can't do two things at the same time. But I do want to work something out here. Take a break. Go get a drink. All right, so scrolling. Oh, here we go. I can find that, and then I can do this, and I can save that, copy, right? And then I would send this to this guy here. I should do a text show. That's it. All right, I will have a guest momentarily. In the meantime, what can I talk about? Can't wait for a tour on the Cape Cod Brew Bus with Gary as a guide. Gary's awesome. Cape Cod Brew Bus is awesome. What are you laughing at? Who's at my window? That's creepy. Is that you, Jack? All right, here he is. There he is. Hey, thanks for joining me.
Hey.
Tim, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? I can hear the dogs.
I can hear you.
Good.
The dogs are freaking out because I'm on the TV in the other room.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, let's do this. But with Tim.
With Tim, yeah.
All right. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, what's going on?
Not much.
Yeah. Good night so far?
Yeah, it was a great night. I enjoyed the show.
Well, thank you. It was a lot of fun. Erik Davis, Fandango.com. I used to talk to him on my radio show, and I love talking movies. I love talking movies with you. We always have great conversations about pop culture. Can you imagine that guy's got that job where he gets to interview everybody that has a movie coming out?
It's a very cool job.
Yeah.
And you said earlier that you wouldn't be good at interviewing people, and I say BS, that you'd be great at interviewing people.
Did I say that? I don't know.
Yeah, you did. You're like, oh, I don't think I'd be a good interviewer. I'd want to be their friends, and I'd talk about when we're going to go out for drinks. And yeah, it's like, no, they'd go out for drinks with you.
I had there was a few times where I got a little beside myself with a guest, and it was like I am with you right now. One was Huey Lewis. I couldn't just
Huey Lewis didn't like you.
No, he did, but he's been interviewed by hundreds of thousands of people. So nobody wants to be interviewed by the radio guy. That's a fact. Nobody wants to go on the radio. They just don't. Because I always expect the wacky and wild morning show. And they expect the same questions all the time. So, and they have to usually get up really early in the morning to do an interview. So nobody ever wants to talk to the radio guy. But I turned into Chris Farley in the Chris Farley show when I talked to
You
Huey
remember
Lewis.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when you were in Back to the Future? That was awesome. It was horrible.
Remember when you were in the Beatles? That was awesome.
So, but I mean, that's a dream job right there.
See, I suck at talking to famous people. I've proven that in front of you.
Who Who are you referring to?
Anybody that's famous, I talk to them like they're the guy at Shaw's. I don't care.
But that's good. They like that. They want
some
that.
of them do, some of them don't. The cast of Christmas Story didn't like it at first.
Well, because they're has-beens or never have been, and they would expect that anybody who is a fan of the movie is going to fall all over them.
Yeah,
and
I didn't fall all over them. I pretty much
Yeah.
told them off, and I told them where they could go, and I said we were leaving, and then you guys panicked. That's my brush with fame.
Well, I saw the potential of what happened with you being done over the course of 2 hours. I didn't want it to end that quickly.
Oh, no, you saved it, and it turned into a great thing. So
yeah, that was a lot of fun. We didn't have what's his name there, but Peter Billingsley.
No, he's
Billingsley.
He's still famous.
Well, he still has those piercing blue eyes. That was the topic of conversation.
He's a director and a producer, and he's a moneymaker.
He's friends with Vince Vaughn. You can't get close to anybody who's friends with Vince Vaughn.
No, he didn't need to be riding around in my Highlander.
No.
So
what's TRP up to these days? Tim Rice photo.
I'm actually booking. I'm starting to work again. So I did a senior session tonight, and I got some family portraits coming up this weekend. And
was the senior session from the promo that you just posted on your Facebook page?
No, it's from a young man from Bellingham who just needed an updated photo. But
okay.
But when I posted tonight, a lot of the schools start getting their caps and gowns next weekend. So maybe we'll go to their house and take a picture of them, like their mini sessions. You got to do everything you can. You got to make it work. That's pretty much all it comes down to. You
have a couple different packages, so it fits into anybody's budget, and you have to have a good photo of your graduate. You just do. You should. It helps, especially now, because you're not going to have much else to remember. What's Medway doing? Is Medway doing anything? Oh, excuse me. For parades or to August 2nd. So they're actually having an outside graduation at the football field. Milford is also doing that, but they're also doing a parade. They are, yeah, Sunday. Yeah. And then Hopkinson's doing something tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. So we went to Portland twice, actually. We went with extended friends, and then just the four of us, Molly and Barbie, and the two of us went to Portland. We had a great time. There was so much to do up there, and it's a walkable city. Incredibly. And to what your friend said, it's a small Boston. That's what I love about it. Yeah. And that same feel, but you don't have to walk nearly as far. And not as busy as Boston would be. No. I think we went. There was a. Is that where it was? Or maybe it's not Portsmouth. I think it was Portland, where they had the really dive bar that just recently got sold like a year ago or 2 years ago. Was that it was like a whorehouse? Was it? We went there for dinner, and it was like 10 cents for a burger, 5 cents for something upstairs. They went out of business though. They were right on the corner. That was like a landmark. It was like a hot dog place or something too. Yep. Yeah, we had our final meal there that night. So when we need to shave. We do. Yeah. When we go away, we have to plan ahead of time because there's a lot of food involved. We have not 3 meals, but I think we work off of 6 meals. No, we have pre-breakfast, breakfast, post-breakfast, lunch, post-lunch, pre-dinner, dinner, and then just the snack. The snack, which turns out to be just a late night meal. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens. And on top of that, some of us who do drink are drinking at every place we go to, so it does become a thing. But it's always a lot of fun. $3 what? $3 Deweys. That's right, $3 Deweys. Yes, I just got yelled at from the other room. But there's a story behind it. It was like some kind of like a whorehouse or something. Yeah. Yep. We remember that. Yeah, I even enjoyed those that night. Right. That was one of those few nights. That was a great band, too. That band still uses the photos I took of them. Oh, do they really? Yeah. What was the name of that band? We're going to get that band out here. I can't remember the name of the band. I have them in the comments later. They were really good. How about, remember Slab? Oh, I love Slab. Do you remember yelling across the street to somebody saying, hey, do you know where Slab is? And they said, right there. You're under the sign. Yeah. I have contemplated going out there just to get some pizza and then come home. See, she's welcome to join us. Yeah, the delay. Now it's Dean Ford is the name of the band. Oh, okay. Well, anything you want to know in the future, ask me now. Okay. And then in 5 minutes, she'll yell it, and I'll be able to answer it. All right. What's wrong with Chris in this photo? What isn't wrong with Chris? I love that photo. That is a very sleepy Chris. Well, that I could tell you what, that was last call because I remember going into that. It was shoulder to shoulder, and everybody was 20 years younger than us.
I say we were the oldest people there.
We had no business being in this little club here, and I think we had enough time for half of a drink and a photo, and then we were kicked out.
We played Jenga too.
We played Jenga at the place that we were dancing. So on the inside, they had Jenga. Do you remember? And that's where these things came from.
Yeah.
Do you remember being there, playing Jenga? There's nobody there. Went upstairs, downstairs, went out to see the band, Dean Ford. And then all of a sudden we turned around and that was the scene.
Yep.
Like all of a sudden it just got busy.
Came out of nowhere.
Yeah. And there's that little alleyway. I wish I put more pictures on here now.
I got a ton of pictures from there.
Oh, hold on. Dean Ford and the Keepsakes. Thank you, Barbie.
Thanks, Barbie.
Oasis was the name of the bar that had the...
She's Googling all this, by the way.
No, I think she knows this by memory. It was the best weekend of her life.
Yeah. Not if we were there, Ray. Well, I'm sorry Jay ditched you.
That's okay. That's the kind of thing we do anyway.
Shaker.
What are you watching? You have a salt? Oh, okay, we can do that. I have salt on my rim. So cheers.
What am I watching?
What are you watching? What are you watching?
Watching Breaking Bad.
Still okay. Is she into it? Is she getting?
Yeah, she loves it.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. It takes a little time.
Yeah. So I told her she had to promise me that she'd watch the first season.
I think that's a delayed reaction to something.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
All right.
Good. I'm watching the morning show on Apple Plus. So
I gotta watch that off your recommendation.
Yeah, I think that's really good. For some reason, I love shows about behind the scenes at a TV station. I don't know why. Sports Night was an awesome show.
Sports Night's one of my favorite all-time shows. Newsroom. 30 Rock was a great comedy. Yep. There's a couple more too. WKRP.
Remember the one that Matthew Perry was in?
Yes, he was he was like an ESPN guy.
No. It was based on an SNL type show, and it was only on for
one season.
Half a season. Yeah,
I remember they had the golf cart and they would go around the stadium and stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, that's a different one. That
really?
He owned a stadium or a sports team or something. It was an Alan Sorkin, not Alan, Adam Sorkin.
Adam Sorkin.
Yeah, it was one of his shows, and it was the drama. It was 30 Rock, but it was a drama.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Dan was named after the lead character in Sports Night.
Oh, was he really?
Dan Rydell, yeah, the sports, one of the sports anchors.
All right, I'm gonna wait for confirmation from Barbie on that one. If you don't.
No,
mind.
she left.
Oh, why'd she leave?
I don't know.
You know, we still have 17 people watching. I'm amazed that people are still watching this.
Sunday, they can be bored with us.
Sunday at 7:00.
Buddy Films.
Is it? Oh, good. Okay, it's Buddy. I couldn't remember. Buddy anything, right? Not Buddy Cop. Not
just
Buddy
Films. Yes.
Just Buddy Films.
Yep.
Well, that'll be fun. That's Distracted Driving on our Distracted Driving page, and where else? Amped Up Promotions as well. Oh, I can hear myself in the background. That's weird.
Yeah, I asked her to turn it down. She didn't.
That's okay.
It's very distracting.
Right. Like Distracted Driving.
I feel like Howard's turn down your radio.
All right, buddy. I will talk to you Sunday then.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Tim. Bye.
Bye.
Distracted driving, right around filming for you. Distracted driving, jokes and games and interviews. Distracted driving, tune in, have a good time. Distracted driving, Ray and Tim and Jay from behind.